So actually, we have finished chapter 9 theoretically. So try except was the last concept in that. So we have few file processing examples like you can see here. Suppose we are given a file named, so name of the file is student marks. Okay, and this file contains the student data that includes roll number, name, and marks. Like roll number is 4001, name is Nitin Negi, marks is 75. Roll number 4002, name is Kisalya Sen, marks is 98, and so on. Like so, the file is student marks. So the data about each student is stored in a separate line, and the individual pieces of information, roll number, name, and marks are separated by commas. So you can see here. So you have a file, name is student marks, and that contains these roll number, name, and marks. So each line is data about one student. And now what you want? So now we defined add percent as a percentage of maximum marks that should be added to the marks obtained to get the moderated marks. So suppose you want to add 3 marks in all. Okay, so you need to find you have to store the data into new file, and marks will be updated. Okay, so we're saying we defined add percent as a percentage of max marks that should be added to marks obtained to get moderated marks and subject to the upper limit of maximum marks, because the marks should not exceed the maximum marks. Like if it is 100, so it should not exceed 100. So to carry out the moderation, we prompt the user to enter the moderation percent. Okay, so how many marks you want to add? What is the moderated marks? So moderation percent, and produce another file, this moderated marks. So the file you already have a student marks that contains the data, and you have to produce a new file that will contain the roll number, name, and the updated marks. Okay, containing moderated marks of the students. So this is the actually pseudocode for that. So we describe this task in form of a pseudocode. So question is clear. You have one file containing roll number, name, and marks. You want to update the marks. So you will generate a new file. This is pseudocode. So open file student marks in read mode. Okay. While checking for any errors, then open file moderate marks in write mode. So in write mode, what happens? If file is not available, then it will generate a new file, or it will create a new file. So you will open moderate marks this file in write mode while checking for any error, and then read one line input from a student marks. So each line you will read from the original file, and then after updating you will copy and paste it into other. Uh, so read one line input from student marks. Then this is the code while line one is not empty string. Then retrieve the value of roll number, name, marks from the line 1 while checking for any errors. Then compute moderated marks and write one line of output in the file moderated marks. So you will take this information from the original file, and then you will write it into a new file, that is the moderated marks. That was a file, moderated marks inside that. Then again, see, read one line of input from student marks, and you will keep doing that until this line becomes empty string. Okay. So to each line, line by line, you will read and you will update marks. Then the code is here. Okay, so this is giving information. So what will happen? Suppose so the complete script is given below. So code is here. So first they are saying when we execute the following program and enter 3 as a value of add percent. So you want to add 3 marks. Okay, so 3% you want to increase. So the one who gets about 75 marks. So 3% you will add. So 3 marks will be added. So 3% will be added. It will be 78%. Suppose it is 98% already, so it will be added, it will become 101, but maximum marks is 100, so you have to restrict it to 100. Similarly, 80 will be like 83, 60 will be 63, 88 will be 91, like that. Okay. So what we are doing, when we execute the following program, so program is there. So following program and enter 3 as value of add percent, the system output the content of the file moderated marks as follows. So you have content in the generated file moderated marks will be like this: roll number, name, and updated marks. So initially marks was 75%, now it is 78%. Roll number, name, marks. So initially it was 98%, so you will add 3%, it's a 101, but you have to restrict it to the maximum marks, so it is 100. And now similarly for other files, so this file you have to generate now. So this content you have to, the code is, so try to understand the code. So what we are doing, imports is, they define, we have defined a function. This the function name is compute moderated marks. So inputs are file1, file2. So file1 is already we have, you know, student marks. File2 we want to generate, and add percent is the marks you want to add to each student, you know, in the marks of each student. So try, so inside try, what we are doing, so f in, you can write f, है ना? We used to write like f is equal to open f or open file in read mode. So instead of f we have your f in. Okay, so input file you can say, like, or we have one file, so f in is open, file one will open in read mode because we already have content inside that. And then f out is open, f1 f2 we can take, if you want you can write f1, you can write f2 here. Okay, so f2 is open file 2 in write mode. So file 2 will be created if it is not available already, but file 1 we already have, no? So we have to update marks into that. So if something wrong happens here, suppose file is not found, then it will print problem in opening the file. So try except, you know, if something wrong happens in try, so except part will be executed. Okay, and then it will be stopped system or exit. So that's why we have imported this. Then again line 1, so f in dot read line. So read line was a command that was reading each line from the file. Okay, so f in the first file, file 1, from file 1 it will read each line. And then while line 1 is not empty, so each line it will be reading until it completes all the line, or it encounters empty string. Then s list is line 1 dot split comma. So why we are splitting on comma, so you can see here, in the original file, like 4001 is the roll number, then name comma, uh, marks. So it is these, for one student, roll number, name, and marks are separated by comma. So we are splitting line 1, okay, of file 1, okay, with comma. So split do what? It will generate what? Anyone can tell what is the work of split? So what will be output of this line? If I execute only this line, what will it do?
Sir, it will separate on the basis of comma, sir, and it will return a list.
Yes, list of, so like it will return a list, like list inside that we will have, yes, this roll number, yes,
4001.
yes, roll number comma this inside list, yeah. Then try roll number int s list 0. So s list, it is the first line inside, है ना? So you first line you have inside list. So you are taking the first element, index 0. Index 0 means first element. So at index 0 it is roll number. At index 1 you have name. At index 2 you have marks, right? So here index 0 you have roll number, index 1 you have name, and index 2 you have marks. Okay, and if everything is right here, that's all. If something went wrong, so it will print undefined index and something, then it will be a stopped program here. Next we have except value error. If value error comes, it will print this. Okay, maximum marks you have defined 100. Okay, so now we are computing moderated marks. So marks plus add percent, so this will enter, है ना, how much percent we want to increase the marks. So add percent into maximum marks upon 100. Okay, so max marks here is 100, so like you just add the percent. So max marks here is 100, so 100 upon 100 will be cancelled. So marks plus add percent actually. Okay, and if moderated marks is more than 100, you will restrict the moderator marks to 100 only. Okay, so if moderator marks becomes more than 100, so you will keep it 100 only. Now f out, so f out was this f open file to in write mode dot write string of roll number plus this comma in string we are writing plus name plus comma then string form of moderated marks plus new line. So inside file 2 we are writing roll number comma name comma moderated marks, okay, the subjected marks, and line 1 is f in dot read line. So again it will keep reading, and then after that you will close both the files and it will be completed. So to save the file you have to close the file. So close has two work, saving and closing both. So this is the main part. So like what we are doing, def main import sys, then this is the like the code you have saved somewhere, so you have to write the path, or you can if you remove it, it will not create problem. Okay, so you may not write this through line. So directly file 1 you give the input, file 2 you give the input, and then add percent is the marks will enter and how much percent we want to add, and then this is the function we have defined, user defined function. Here we have this file 1 file 2 at percent, and then so it will generate a file 2 with marks will be updated, or with moderated marks. It will give you a file with roll number, name, and moderated marks. Okay, so this is the thing, you can run the program, you can similarly one more example we have, like you have, so this was fine, you can run it and then check. Okay, exam will be, you know the pattern of exam, how will be the examination, so it will be MCQ only. So like in the last class I have taken exam now, so in the same pattern exam will be there in mid sem and end sem, I think both maybe. So as I know, it will be MCQ exam, so you will have four option of each question, you just have to tick the option. Okay, so this will be the pattern of exam. So no program writing will be there, just you will have MCQ each question, filling the blanks or output or a definition based. This type of questions will be there in MCQ mode. All questions will have four options. You have to choose one. So next example is what? In our next program, we wish to compute monthly wages to be paid to employee in an organization. So the input data has been provided to us in two files named employee master and the employee monthly. Okay, so this is similar program, just there you were adding marks. Here what you'll do, this is suppose employee ID, name, and the hourly wages. Okay, so per hour wages. Okay, so like employee ID, name, and per hour wages. Now what do you want, you will just count the monthly salary, or so what they want to count. So there is a date, there is a file. The first file is like there was student marks, here is employee master, that contains data about employee, that include employee ID, employee name, and hourly wages. Okay, employee ID, employee name, hourly wages. So this is inside the first file, the name of the first file is employee master, emp master. Okay, and now this is the employee ID and this is the number of hour worked. Okay, so it is saying the second file employee monthly contains monthly information, often called the transaction data about employee. It stores two pieces of information about each employee, namely employee ID and number of hour worked. Okay, so here it was the hourly wage and here is the number of hour worked. So what you'll do actually, you will just match the ID. If employee ID matches, so you will multiply number of hour worked into hourly wages. So this is hourly wages and here is the number of hour worked. So ID and number of hour worked. So you will multiply it and they will store it into the third file. Because there are two files here. One file containing employee ID, name, and hourly wages. Second file contains employee ID and number of hour worked. Okay, and then you will have to what? You will have to find. You have to take a or generate a file that will contain employee ID and total wages, monthly wages. I say number of hour worked and per hour wages you have. You will just multiply and you will find the total wages. So this is the pseudocode for that. Yes, pseudocode is given below. So it's a similar to last example. Okay, the similar here. Just we were adding there. Here we will multiply. Everything is same. So open the first file and second file in read mode. So first file contains employee ID, name, and number of hour worked. Sorry, I think hourly wages. Yes. First file contains hourly wages per hour wage. Okay, and second file contains ID and number of hour worked. Okay, so both file you will open in read mode because it exists already. You don't want to write anything inside that. So open the file. So next file monthly wages. Third file you will open in write mode. So if it is available, it's fine. If it is not, it will be created. Okay. While checking for any errors. Then read one line input from employee master. This. So each line you will read one line from this and one line from this, and you will just multiply number of hours into hourly wages. Same thing written here. So while line 1 is not empty string, retrieve value from employee ID and hourly wages from the line 1. While checking for any errors, read one line of input from employee monthly. This, okay, so first line you read from here, first line you read from here. Retrieve the value of employee ID, okay, and hourly worked from line 2 while checking for any errors, and check the employee ID in employee master and temp ID in employee monthly matches. So like what is saying in both the files, you have to match the this employee ID. Like 1001 is here and here is 1001. So first match the employee ID, then compute monthly wages and write one line of output file in monthly wages. So two files you have to open in read mode, and third file you have to generate in write. You have to open in write mode. Okay. Then read one line of input from the employee master. This, and I think it will keep doing. You just keep doing until it encounters the empty string. So the complete script is given below, so code will be below, and on the execution of the following program, the system creates an output file monthly wages with the following content. So see, here like 245 is the number of hour worked, and the per hour wage is 30. So 30 into 245 it will do, so it will be generated here like it's a 7350 will be there. And similarly here, so second employee worked 35 hours. Sorry, here is the hourly wages. So 35 rupees is the hourly wages, and it worked for 0 hours. So the final file will contain 0 as output, or monthly wage. Similarly here, 28 into 0, and then 35 into 240. So this will be the output in the third file, and this is a program. So it's a similar program. Okay. And then it's a conclusion means this conclusion is just revision summary. Okay, so it revisions a summary. So just, okay, so let me just read this program. Then we'll finish. So what we are doing, import sys def, we have defined a function generate salary file 1 file 2 file 3. Okay, so two file we already have that contains the information of the employee, and third file we want to generate. So try F master. Again, you can take F1, F2, F3, instead of F master, F trans. This F wages, you may take F1, F2, F3. So in the book they write like this. That's why in PPT it is like this. So F1, F2, F3 can be written. Open file 1 in read mode, open file 2 in read mode, and open file 3 in write mode, because in file 3 you want to write. Okay. So if something went wrong, then it will be like if it encounters IO error, then it will print problem with opening the file, and then it will exit the program here. Otherwise, it will go. So line 1, f masters dot read line. So f master f1 I say. So f1 dot read line. So it will read line by line. Okay, so it will read first line. While line 1 is not empty string, so it will read first line first, okay, and each line will read. So while loop we are running, okay, so one by one each line will read. So for the first line will executed, and s list one is line one dot split. So again split is used, so split will do what, it will make a list of employee id, name, and this hourly wages, okay. Then try employee id, so like int s list 0, so 0 है ना, you first have employee id here. So zeroth index you will have employee id. So this is the employee id. Then hourly wages, it's a 2 second index, 0 1 2. So at the first index it has name, okay. So at second index it has hourly wages. Then if something went wrong, then it will print like, okay, so handling error, so except it will print undefined index and it will exit, or it occurs value error or type error, it will print like this, you know, unsuccessful conversion to end, like this. Then line 2 f trans, so f trans means this, okay. Next like file 2, the first line of file, it will read f trans dot read lines, so it will read the each line of second file, okay. Then s list 2 is line 2 dot split, so again we are converting each line into a list, okay. Then we'll do indexing. So this will return a list, okay, list of ID and number of hour worked, because f trans or f file 2, no, it was in file 2. So in file 2 it will read each line, and we are converting to list. So then what you are doing, try t employee ID int s list to 0. So for, at first index we had this employee ID, this employee ID, okay. Next is the number of hour worked. The employee ID and then hourly wages. So it's a, we were here, no? Yeah, this we have done. Okay. So int s list 2 of 1. So at first index it has number of hour worked, and then what it will do, if it occurs some index error, it will print undefined index. If it like encounters value error or type error, it will print this. Then if employee id is equal to t employee id, okay, so in both the files you are first matching the employee id, okay, so that you can multiply corresponding hourly worked into hourly wages. So f wages dot write, so what you are writing, so write will write into this file. F wages was this, okay, third file f3, you know, file 3. So it is f3, so we have open f3. So f3 dot write, so to write employee id plus, then comma, the employee id, then comma, then in the string form you will print hourly wages into hourly work, okay. So like hourly wages is 30 and hourly work is 245, it will be multiplied and it will be written in third file. Then again you will read next line. So again you will continue, continue reading. So while loop is going, so you will close all the three files, and then this is the main part, okay. Import says, then you are writing here you have tried location of the file, so you may skip it, still it will work, okay. File 1, file 2, file 3. So file 1 you will enter, file 2 you will enter, file 3 you will generate. So all name of the all three file you will write. Then we are calling the function we have defined. So the function was generate salary, file 1, file 2, file 3. So this file we have generated, okay. And then this is conclusion is just revision, okay. So here we end. So there is nothing, no theory, after try except. Okay, so assignment you try, it's easy, so we can see once what are the question assignments. Okay, so these are easy, okay. So 15 is consider following or write the output, you just run it, okay. And these are, this is from actually ppt, okay. 15th, 14th, consider the following program, write the output. So if is open python in write mode, F dot right, this is also from PPT. Okay. Next is 13. 13 what is saying? Consider the following program, write the output. Okay. So again you have to run it. So these are easy, just you run it. Okay. This is also from PPT. 12th, consider the following program, check for the error. Otherwise, write the output. So you are opening read mode. Okay. So if file 1 already exists, then it will read it. Otherwise, it will give you error. Okay. You are opening in read mode now. So that's why. And then f dot write, it will write inside that. Then close. Okay. 11 is what? Consider the following program, check for any error. Otherwise, write the output. Again, you run it. Okay. So you have opened the file in write mode. So it will be created and then you will write this. Then you are again opening in read mode, so you have to close first now, then open in read mode. Okay, that's fine. So you open read mode, then at the end you close it. So just copy and paste, you just run it. But in exams है ना, you have to tell the output directly looking at the question. You will not have the compiler there now. Okay. And 10th, what will be the output of the following code snipped if the file being opened does not exist? So they're asking you the output, okay, of the following code if the file being opened does not exist. It's given that the file is not does not exist. Like file one dot, you are opening a read mode, so obviously it will give you error. So output will be this problem with input output, okay, because this file does not exist. So it will create this error, and then this will be the output. Similarly here, so you are writing in write mode, okay, so it will not create error, so it will print this. This will run, okay. 9 is what? Identify two exceptions that may be raised while executing the following statement. So, one you can see like int you add with a string, one maybe that. And similarly, you can generate other one. It is what? Examine the following functions. Examine the following function percentage. The function is percentage. Input parameters are marks and total. Okay. So percentage marks upon total into 100. Fine. So if it is value, it will print like this. Okay, so here is what at the end finally the function percent completed percent. So percent where we are printing percent here, yeah, else we are printing percent here. Okay, so if no error occurs, so no error occur, then it will print percentage. Okay, and this will be executed every time. Finally means finally executed every time, so it will be printed always this function percent completed. And the value of inputs are given, so you just put it. इसको run कराओ सीधा ना, just you put and it will run. ये भी run कराने का है, this you can also do. Now it's a for 1 to 6. चलो 6 क्या है? Write a function that reads the content from the file poem.txt. ठीक है? So this file already have some content, so you will read it and count the number of alphabets, blank spaces, and lowercase letters and uppercase letters. Okay, and the number of words starting with a vowel. Okay, and the number of occurrence of the word beautiful in the file. So you have to write one program, you have to do all these things. So poem.txt file already you have, so it will have some content. Then you have to count alphabets, blank spaces, lowercase letters, uppercase letters, and number of words, all this. Okay. Fifth is write a function that takes two files of equal size, okay, as input from user. The first file contains weight of the item and the second file contains corresponding prices. So this type of program we have done in PPT. We had one weight and price. Okay. create another file that should contain price per unit weight, है ना, price upon weight for each item. Okay, so one has price, weight, other has price, and then in the third file you have to price per unit weight. So price upon weight you have to write into third file. So you can take help from the last program, we have done in PPT, like marks, moderated marks, or the employee salary. So this, that you can take help from. Fourth is write a function that reads the file one, and copies only alternative lines to another file, file two. Okay, so you will read content from file one, and then you will copy the alternative lines into file two. Alternative lines copied should be odd numbered lines, like first line, third line, fifth line, like this. Handle all exceptions that can be raised. Okay, write a function that takes data to be stored in the file one as interactive input from the user until he responds with nothing as input. Okay, write a function that takes data to be stored in the file one, okay, from the user until it responds with nothing as input. Okay, you will keep entering and you will not enter anything, so it will, input will stop there. Each line or paragraph taken as input from the user should be capitalized and stored in the file one. Okay, so you have to take input from the user and you have to store it into file one. Second is write a function that reads a file one, and displays the number of words and the number of vowels in the file. So read content from file one, and then you have to count number of words and number of vowels. Second, and the first one is write a function that takes two file names, file one, file two, as input. The function should read the content from file one line by line and should write them to another file two, after adding a new line at the end of each line. Because these are the assignments, so I will say you to try till the next class. In the next class, I think tomorrow we have class, so tomorrow I may discuss solution of this. Okay, so first you try it, till tomorrow. So after 7 it is easy, just you have to run the program before, you have tried the program till that. In exam they will not ask you to write the program, but in assignment, I have sent the Google form. So before 15 you have to submit, I think you have submitted 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. You have to submit 8, 9, 10. So 8, 9, I have given you the form till 8, 8, 9, chapter 8 and 9. You have to submit. So this you also have to submit before 15. You know? So soft copy you have to submit in the Google form. So try it, okay? Now I will start next chapter, that is the lecture 10 or chapter 10 in the book, classes. Okay, class 1.
सर
Yes.
सर इसको भी रिटर्न करके देना है ना असाइनमेंट को?
Yes, yes. जैसे अभी तक सबमिट किया आप लोगों ने वैसे ही करना है. Write it, then scan it and upload it on the Google form. Okay, so अच्छा चलो पहले अटेंडेंस ले लेते हैं. Then we'll start next chapter. Chapter 10 है. Okay, Ravi Raj, सीजल नहीं, सेजल राज, सब्यसाची, मोनिका.
Present, sir.
Who is this?
Sir, Sejal Raj present.
Okay, okay. मोनिका.
सर रविराज प्रेजेंट सर.
हाँ, अभी नींद में हो तुम
रविराज
लोग,
प्रेजेंट.
सब नींद में हो हैं?
नहीं सर, नींद में नहीं था, आवाज नहीं आया था आपका.
अच्छा,
अभी मतलब
सब्यसाची है, मोनिका, सौम्या, सौरभ, अब्दुल्ला तावीस,
प्रेजेंट सर.
अभिलिप्सा, आदित्य नारायण.
प्रेजेंट सर. प्रेजेंट सर.
हाँ, प्रतीक्षा,
Present, sir.
सदान हसन,
Present, sir.
सत्य शुभदर्शी,
Present, sir.
प्रियजीत, अभिषेक पंडा, प्रसन्नजीत,
प्रेजेंट सर।
हर्षवर्धन, स्वास्तिक,
Yes, sir.
विवेक, सुमित, सौमेंद्रा,
Present, sir.
ओके, उज्जवल, आयुष्मान,
Present, sir.
बसंत,
Yes, sir.
शशांक, सीजल,
Present, sir.
स्वप्ना श्री,
Present, sir.
स्वयं सार्थक,
प्रेजेंट सर।
कृति,
Present, sir.
अनिकेत, सौभाग्य, आकाश, ऋषि, स्निग्धा, अमिताभ, आदित्य सिंह,
Present, sir.
अभिषेक,
प्रेजेंट सर।
ईशान, लिप्सिता,
Present, sir.
आदित्य, मधुस्मिता,
Present, sir.
आयुष, मधुमुखी, पंकज,
Present, sir.
संदीप,
Present, sir.
कुमार चंद्रशेखर,
Present, sir.
सुमित, प्रियमदा,
Present, sir.
तन्मय, आदित्य,
Present, sir.
अनिकेत नायक,
Present, sir.
अभिषेक साहू,
Present, sir.
अनुराग,
Yes, sir.
सौरभ,
Present, sir.
वैष्णवी,
Present, sir.
शिवम सिंह, अश्वनी, सुभजीत,
Present, sir.
अच्छा, अश्वनी प्रेजेंट, सुभजीत प्रेजेंट, ओके, संग्राम,
Present, sir.
हर्षिता,
Present, sir.
ओके, चलो अभी तो हो गया था मोनिका का, ओके, okay, so till next class you try assignment 9, then
Sir, Abhishek Panda, 2607.
607, okay,
सर सौम्य पटनायक 2374।
तुम तो क्या भी जगह हो, सौम्या पटनायक, बताओ वो बताओ रजिस्ट्रेशन नंबर।
2374 सर।
ओके, okay, so let us continue. Next chapter is classes 1. Okay, मतलब actually classes are divided into two chapters here, classes 1, classes 2. So in the book the chapter 10 is classes 1 and chapter 11 is classes 2. This is an easy chapter and a very small chapter, so it will take 1 or 2 class only. So it has mainly, introduction to class, then constructor, destructor, and then you have classes as abstract data type, or just you can import one class from any file to another, any program to other program, like that, and then you have date class. So okay, let's read it from that introduction. So class is a temp template that provides logical grouping, okay, of data and methods that operate on them. Okay, you want to store name, roll number, marks, all this of a student, and address like this, and you want to update it every time. So classes will make it easy to update. Okay, so class is a template that provides logical grouping of data and methods. So methods actually will be a function actually. So in the class actually function are also called methods. So here is, this is method that operate on them. Okay, this is just about class grouping of data we do. Okay, so in actually, what is saying OOP, something wrong with it. Actually in classes what we do, we create objects. Okay, so and objects used are derived using classes. Okay, and related code and data are packaged together using classes. So they are just introduction, just read it. Okay, we'll see the program and understand that. So we can have user defined classes, and there are inbuilt classes also. Okay, like str, these are the classes actually, string and all that. So data and attributes are, I think, variables are called attributes in case of classes. Okay, so attributes means variables. So data and variables with class are collectively known as class attributes. Okay, so attribute will be used as a variable, so in name of variable. So data and attributes with a class are collectively known as class attributes, and we can assign instances to object of class. Okay, what is next? So we have various built-in class in Python like string, okay, int, float. These are all class actually. Okay, class is also type. You were citing type of object. So object type or data type is also a class. So that is also a class. So class is like type. So we have various built-in class in Python like string and str, int, float, etc. Like Raman, CBSE are instances of class string that are assigned to the variable name and board. Okay, so these are instances of class. Okay, which class? String. So you already know, na? This is a string, this is also a string. Okay, and that are assigned to variable. So attribute, you can also say variable name, na? So name is Raman and board is CBSE. So you will assign to variable name and board. So here these are the instances of class string. Various methods of class can act on objects of class. So methods actually, in case of class, methods are also used for functions. Okay, so instead of telling function, they will write methods. Okay, instead of saying variable, they will tell you attribute. So various methods or function of class can act on objects of class. Okay, so method lower. Now method is function. Okay, so you already know this word. Lower can be used on an object to return all the lowercase letters of string. So we have seen this keyword already. So string dot lower, so it will convert the string into all lower characters, lowercase letter. Okay, so this function lower can be used on an object to return all the lowercase letters of string. Methods are invoked by the object name followed by dot in the attribute name. So it means that methods means functions are invoked by object name followed by dot and attribute name. Like you will see here, like here you will have self dot name. Okay, so this is a variable, attribute name variable, and this will be actually object of a class. So you'll see here. So that is saying here by object name followed by dot and the name of the attribute. So here you can see here like self is an object of a class. So self dot name, so that is here this filling. So we functions are invoked by object name, so that was self here, followed by dot and then the attribute name, means variable name. Okay, so this clear, this is telling about this thing, self dot name, self dot date of birth, self dot address. Okay, so self is object dot and this is the variables name, date of birth, address. Now we have also we can invoke class methods by class name followed by dot operator. So we can invoke class methods by class name followed by dot operator, method name, and object name passed as an argument for method. So these are the theory. Okay, so here is the implementation. You can see the implementation here. So syntax of defining class. So okay, what is the syntax to define a class? So like class, this is a keyword you have to write. So you are defining a class, like you write def, you know. So in that way you will write class, and this is a class name. So it depends on what do you want to take the name of the class. But usually the convention is whatever name you take of the class, it will start with the capital letter. Okay, this is a convention. So we'll take always class name. So it will be first letter will be capital. Okay, and then you write the class body. So for example, here we have one example. So class person. So person is the name of the class. Okay, like you write define function. So you write any name of the function, def function. So here is a class, and this is the name of the class person. So we are initializing count by 0, and then def. This is a keyword. I will explain it later on. Double underscore init init, or this is a initialize, short form of initialize. Self, name, date of birth, address. So actually this class has 4 parameters: self, this is object, name, date of birth, address. These are variables. Okay, so first you read it and then we'll understand the program. Def init double underscore init double underscore. So this double underscore is used in the special functions, like you have seen it. If double underscore name, right, there was this thing equal double equal to double underscore main. So this double underscore is used for the special function. So this is a special function, it has special work. So you will see what is the work of this. Then self, instead of self you can write anything else also. Okay, me, others, employee, something. So just you whatever written you just understand, then I will. So first read this and then. So define double underscore init self name, date of birth, address. Self dot name is name. So this is the way we write. So self dot name, self is the object, these are variables, object of the class. So self dot name is equal to name, self dot date of birth is date of birth, self dot address is address. Person dot count is equal to person dot count plus 1. So we write in this way, person dot count plus equal to 1. Okay, now we are defining the function def get name of self, return self dot name, def get date of birth of self, return self dot date of birth. So like define get address of self, return self dot address, then def defining set name. So there were get names. Okay, we have defined a function set names. Here is here we have 2 parameters, self and name. So self dot name is name. Def set date of birth, self date of birth. So actually when you want to update the name, so we'll use this thing. So we'll understand the program after executing. Just read what is written in the PPT. And then self dot date of birth, date of birth. Then similarly def set address, self address, and then self dot address the address. So this will be used to update address. Then def get count of self, return person dot count. So how many object this function has. And then def double underscore string str double underscore self, and you will return name plus self dot name. So name is as a string, it will be printed as it is because it is string, and then self dot name. Whatever you will give as an input, it will be printed here. So suppose if I give my name, so it will be printed Santosh here, like, and then as a string you write this. Then I think new line should be there, new line, or here you can write DOB, date of birth. So it is missed, date of birth, string plus str of self dot date of birth. So whatever you will give, the it will be printed. Then it should be address in string form, and then self dot address. Okay, this is the, if you run this program on, so constructor will start in next class. So first let me show you this program. Okay, so 10 chapter now. Okay, so what we are doing, okay, let me just show you that program, what it was in the PPT. So this was in the PPT? No. Yes, this was the program, right? In the PPT we had this. So check. So class, we have defined a person, then count 0. So we are starting count with 0. Def, actually this is called the constructor. So in the next part of PPT it will explain. So this constructor about that only. So we'll see later on. So this is called constructor of the class. Okay. So see there. So this is constructor of the class. So actually this construct a class name person, and this will have these many parameters: self, name, date of birth, address. You can add more. Then we are saying the self dot name is name. Okay. So this is the object. So like in the complete program you will see it. So here self dot name is name, self dot date of birth, self dot address is address, and person dot count. So person P is capital, you just notice it, na? Sometimes you may do mistake here. So person dot count plus equal to 1. Now these are the functions we define, like def get name self, return self dot name, def है ना, get date of birth self, and then return date of self dot date of birth, then def get address. So these are the functions we defined. Okay, and we are returning the this self dot address. So def set name, and here we are not returning, just we are updating setting, you know. So we can update name here, self name, these are two parameter. So this is object and this is attribute variable. So first is object actually. So self dot name is name, so this will help you to update the name. Then def set date of birth self comma date of birth, so self dot date of birth is date of birth. Then def set address self dot address. Okay, so like this we have self dot address is address. So these all functions, this set function, this will help us to update name, date of birth, and address. Okay, and these are to print the name, address, and date of birth what we enter. Now see here, this double underscore string, double underscore this, like this will print as a string. So this is also a keyword type. So def this self, and it will return in a string form, it will return. Okay, so it will like return name self dot name, then date of birth string form of set of birth, then sorry date of birth, no? And then slash n address, and then self dot address, like here you check. So like we have def main. Okay, so name Santosh, date of birth, address. Okay, and what we are doing is p1, this p1 is a self actually. Okay, so p1 is a self. Here self, what we have defined, that is the object, and object we have created here p1. So this is p1. Okay, and what we are, this is person, person is the name of the class. So this was the name of the class, person, and this has variables name, date of birth, address. Now what I'm doing, printing p1 dot get name. So it will print what? It will print the name we entered, this one. Print p1 dot get date of birth, so it will print this one, and print dot get address, so it will print this one. And like if I write print print p1, suppose I write print p1, so it will print what? So you check the output. Yeah. So for the first print, it print the name. For second print, it print the date of birth. For third print, it print the address. Okay, this. And for the fourth p1 we are printing. Okay, so it is printing name, so returning this thing actually. Okay, so this is returning name, date of birth, and address, like this. Similarly we can do, I think, same program I have done, just after some modification we have done. So here what I am doing, so I was doing here same thing, right? Yes, so instead of there I define name, date of birth separately. So here I'm not defining separately, just I'm writing this p1 is, so p1 is the object that was self there. Okay, self, you can write self here also. So instead of self it is this, and then person is a class, name, date of birth, address. Okay, and then we are printing this one, instead of that we can directly print p1. So instead of this we may write only print p1. Okay, where this was, yes, so we are printing p1 only, so it will return name, date of birth, and address. Similarly here I have taken two, I think 2%. Yeah, you know, we may print instead of all this we may print p1 and we may print p2. Okay, so here it is, we'll print name, date of birth, address. This we can update that also. So if you want to update that name, so here both things are fine, like you write print p1 or write p1 dot double underscore string, this both will do the same work, both will print same thing. This and this are not different. Okay, so this thing will do here. I think today's class was only 1 to 2. Okay, because after 2 classes suspended, so I think so. What should I do? Stop or continue? I should stop, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we had the notice to
Yes, sir.
after 2 classes suspended. So we'll continue this. So in the PPT, constructor will continue. Today we just did introduction to class. Then one program we had already in the PPT, just we run it. Then we'll start constructor, destructor, then abstract data type and date class. It's a very small chapter. Next class will be finished. So okay then. Thank you. We'll meet in next class now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.